out to their show. Buy me some winners and Cracker Jack. I don't care if there's only one nut, and it's root for the prizes. If they don't pick right, it's a shame. And it's 1-2, a free runner on base at the new ball game.
That dude is Marco. Welcome to the Sticks.
Hey, man, I'm delighted to be here with you, Barrister, and wallowing here with our grand community in an effort to push us forward with some rough-hewn efficiency. Why don't we just try to get right into some game action, huh?
I rejected a first read flyer. I really was trying to find a way to get on Tampa Bay, and I just couldn't. So I rejected it, and any play I would have taken would have been a loss. I put out the two plays that I was close on, and that would have been another loss and a push. So had I put out the plays at a level of inconfidence, unconfidence, non-confidence, it would have been 0-2-1. Yeah. You know,
but not confident. And a person that, one of the few people that reads the fine print, because I never saw anywhere that you had a right of first refusal on a
right of first refusal. Yeah. But I wanted to preserve that 3-0. I want to preserve from the night before. I want to preserve the 10-5 on the first.
Well, I was on vacation in the Sticks. I saw the show that you did with your dad. Your dad is a renowned behavioral psychologist, professor.
Clinical psychologist.
I think he's a behavioral psychologist. I'm going to go with behavioral. Anyway, I've been wrong before, and I'm probably going to be wrong at least 3 or 4 more times through this next 10 minutes. But he's also a great guy, and I liked the interview you did with him, because you asked him what was his overall feeling, and he said he was delighted that they were playing baseball, and he said it's entertainment. He said that the players had no penalty if they decided to opt out. They were free to opt out. He said it's like a guy going on a high wire for your entertainment, but there's potential consequences with that. And then he mentioned just getting in your car to go to the store. There's consequences to that. So, you can't live in a bubble. And so I think these guys are taking Dr. Berger, your dad, Stephen Berger, what I'm going to call a behavioral psychologist, maybe a clinical psychologist. We'll leave that up in the air. But they're taking him to heart, and they're playing like it's a circus. So we're going to do a new Sunday segment called the Sunday Circus, and I want to start with this Abreu. Abreu hit a homer, and that's 4 homers at 4 at-bats. Now, the MLB.com made a big deal and said, Abreu makes a record. On the Sunday Circus, Abreu has a record. It seems as though, and you tell me, it's impressive. He had 4 home runs in 4 at-bats, but he ties 43 other people. Is that really a record to go screaming about if 40 other 3 people have that record?
That's great. I love it. What else I love? I love the COVID corner we got from Dr. Doug today. He's so
well, that concludes the Sunday Circus. Let's get right into the corner.
Yeah. So Dr. Doug, he's first and foremost a serious individual, and he's always processing the journals and the journal articles. There's a new Yale research saliva test that's coming out for the COVID, and he was very excited.
Just for the record, I just want to say for the record, he's neither a clinical psychologist nor a behavioral psychologist. We just wanted to get that out.
We should have Dr. Berger back to have him defend what kind of psychologist he actually is.
Well, you're his son. I would say that it's a 99% chance that you're right. But
well,
I'm sticking with my guns. I don't know why I am, but I'm sticking with my guns.
So the COVID test is only $10, but I don't think the price matters for the baseball players. But he was very excited because he misses all the spitting in the game. It's part of the game. But his point is that the new test will not be relying on chemical reagents, and so the players will be able to spit again finally because of the saliva test. And I understand where he's coming from. He's a technician. He's concerned about the science. But I just know these tests are going to come back. They're going to come back not positive or negative, but they're going to come back Copenhagen, Skull, Bandit. There's no way you can...
Even though chewing tobacco's been banned. So I got two questions. One, Dr. Doug is happy that MLB players will be able to spit again, but they're only spitting for the test. So that they're going to be able to just use their reflex motor for a test. They're still not going to be able to spit during the games.
Oh, no, that's not how I interpreted it. I interpreted that there'd be a guy in a white coat, and as soon as the player spits, they just run out onto the field and collect the sample. That's how I interpret it.
Okay. All right. I why wouldn't you interpret it like that? That seems the most efficient way, rather than getting them in line before a game and having them do that in a scientific manner. You might as well have a guy running out like a ball boy or something.
Right, like in tennis, the tennis ball boy.
The spit boy.
Can I tell you about the spam text I got today?
The spam text. Even though I'm relaxed, it's Sunday. The fig harvest is just about coming. I had my fill of figs today. Go ahead. Let me hear what these guys are yelling about.
It's great. It's great. Free weekend on all plays. No salesman. So who's the guy writing the text? He's not a salesman. So great. But this is the best part. You don't want to miss our cross parlay dominator move.
Wow. Sounds like MMA.
Do you know what that means, a cross parlay? Do you know what they're talking about?
More or less I know what a cross parlay is, but why don't you explain it for the viewers that are, might be a little confused.
So that's when you take a baseball game and you pair it with a basketball game, or you take a baseball game, a basketball game, and a hockey game. These are very difficult to hit because not only are you handicapping multiple sports, you're tying them together. If that doesn't convince you that they're con artists, the next line will. Listen to this, they said. With our hedge strategies, you will grow your bankroll with lightning speed.
Wow, it's just a bunch of muddle fuck, man. It's just muddle fuck. I just made that up, muddle fuck. But that sounds as good as growing my hedge, growing my bankroll with lightning speed from their hedge strategies. What kind of hedge strategy are they doing? They're not hedging anything. They're doing a cross parlay, which is
right.
Strategy. There's no lightning speed. The game takes the amount of time they're going to take. What's the lightning speed?
Right. And the whole key to hedging is conservatively, any hedge decreases your winnings. It is the exact opposite of lightning speed. The reason you hedge is because you want to protect some winnings.
Right.
Marco, there's a saying in sports betting that most of them are cliche, but this one is excellent. Sometimes the best bet is the bet you don't make. And I love that. I love that because you don't have to bet every game. The sports books have to put out a line on every game, but you don't have to bet every game. And there are games tomorrow. Toronto and Tampa Bay conclude their series. Miami is in Washington, and these are games that go before 7 o'clock. These are day games.
But you could use that cliche with anything, you say sometimes the best bet is the bet that you don't make. Sometimes the best sex you have is the sex you don't have. Like if you've been drinking too much, that works. You don't. You go home, you feel bad. This is back when you were single and in college. Sometimes the best trade you make is the trade that you don't make. Things like that. So I guess that's a broad cliche, but
yeah,
it's not like you to use such a broad cliche, but it works there.
It does. It
works there.
Yeah. So Chicago.
For me, sometimes the best comment is the comment I don't make, and I wish I would have thought about that 5 seconds.
Well, the Cubs travel to Detroit, not too far a trip. Minnesota goes into Cleveland, a battle of the some winning teams finally. We're getting these matchups.
There's a minimal slate as we go. We're going through the first reads right now, but there's not a full slate tomorrow.
No, it's about a half a slate. Minnesota and Cleveland, Oakland and Texas.
That's an interesting game. I mean, Oakland's hot. I mean, they're the first team, I think, to win 20 games. I mean,
Yeah.
you've had Oakland right out of the bat.
Going up
And
against
Texas is just, you said, could be one of the worst teams. That's an interesting game. Go ahead.
and making it even more interesting is Lynn is going for Texas. So they got their very best pitcher against Oakland's young standout. Cincinnati and Milwaukee, Bauer gets to take the hill again. He's certainly in the lead for the Dazzy Vance in the NL. Kansas City against St. Louis. The Angels go up against the 500 Houston, although Houston looking to sweep that series to get back into contention, 5 games behind the A's. And the final game of the night is in Arizona, where Colorado will visit and go up against Kelly. So Kelly has been starting great, but he seems to be regressing a little bit. And that's your slate for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to put the hammer a little to you and have you do that Texas Oakland game. That's what I would like to do. I know it won't be the easiest to do, but I think I think the Beard might be auditioning for Oakland. I mean, Oakland could be one of the teams that could. They have a lot of good minor leaguers. They could be one of the teams that could be trading for them, so they could really seal up, a good spot to possibly go all the way and play these Dodgers.
So how about that? If you've got Lynn, he knows he's pitching against Oakland, a team he might be traded to, and a team that if he beats is going to be factored negatively in the standings. But if in a week you're going to be on this team, maybe you just not have as much energy to beat them if you're going to be joining them.
This is a game for you to think about. I'm throwing it. Not that you need to have a heavy pressure on you. I know, there's a lot of pressure. It's getting heated up. Things are exciting. Teams are starting to pull away and express themselves in certain ways. We've had the Sunday circus today, but that's what I would like. That's the flyer. I want you to handicap that Oakland Texas game with Lynn auditioning for the team that he will be playing, and I already like you're thinking on his mindset with that.
Sounds great. Awesome.
Does it sound great, or are we going to see some more fine print?
There might.
And it's 1-2, a free runner on base at the new ball game.